Yeah.
First time here, there's a dead horse. Put your hands together for David Smiley.
Woo.
I hate to start with a correction, but it's my second time here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. It's actually my third time doing stand-up, so I might be 66 years old, but I am new to doing this. And yes, I am 66 years old. 2 years ago when I got divorced, I had been married for 42 years. Hang on, not in a row or to the same woman, but for 42 years. So if you want to do the math on that, that would be 22 years to the first one, 5 years to the second one, and 5 years to the third one. And if you're still able to do math, you realize I'm 10 years short. And what that means in my case is, for number 3, we were together as domestic partners for 10 years, and then we got married. So that one's 15 altogether. So my track record, I think, is pretty good. On average, I can't do the average on that. Anyway, sorry.
Yes, David!
Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. My name is David Smiley, S-M-I-L-E-Y, and that's my real name. It's not a stage name. Years ago, I was in the radio business, and people would ask me, "What's your real name?" And I was like, "No, that is my real name." And it's a pretty good name. I like it. People sometimes tell me when I meet them, they're like, "Oh, that's a nice name." I think, "Yeah, it is pretty nice, except on days when I wake up and I'm just not feeling it."
You have a radio voice!
I have a regular voice?
Radio!
A radio voice. Thank you. I was in the radio business, as I said. And so the whole name thing, though, occasionally somebody will be like, "I really like your name, and I'm really not feeling it." So it's like, "Listen, can I just make the appointment for my root canal? I need to go. Come on, let me go out of here." It really gets tough sometimes. I was observing things. One of the things about having a sense of humor that's challenging is when you have a sense of humor and stuff pops in your head, but you have no filter and it just comes out of your mouth. That can get you in trouble left and right. So there was a woman that I was with. It's been years ago now. I won't say who or even give you a number or anything. But we've been dating for a couple of months, and in a moment of intimacy, she turned to me and she said those 3 words. She said, "I love you." And my brain, and my brain immediately went into overdrive. So in the time it takes to give an appropriate response to that comment, let's see, a bunch of song lyrics went through my head, lines out of movies, synapses were firing, trying to make connections that had never been made before. I had like 200 milliseconds to get an answer out, and my answer was, this is the real-time version, "I love you, I know." Not the answer she wanted to hear. She did not think that was funny. Now, some of you are, I hope, recognizing that's from a movie. The movie is Star Wars. That's what Han Solo says to Princess Leia in this similar situation. She says, "I love you," and he says, "I know." So it did not work out for me very well with that circumstance. I also was observing some things this past week. I saw a Cybertruck on the highway, one of the most aggressive-looking vehicles anybody can drive these days, with a painting across the back panel. I guess that's the tailgate, for a day spa with flowers, and it said tranquility on it. I'm like, this is a rolling oxymoron. This is just a contradiction on 4 wheels. Also this past week I saw an interesting video online, and I'm not getting into the politics of this, but there was a French politician who spoke negatively about our president, and also spoke in that same conversation, he spoke about the president of Russia. But the thing that I noticed was his pronunciation of the Russian president's name. He called him Poutine. Now, I have heard that word before because I was married to a Canadian woman. There's a food dish, I don't know if everybody knows, in Canada typically, called poutine. And it takes 3 of the most delicious and amazing foods there are on the planet, and it puts them on one plate. French fries, hot and so good, topped with cheese curds. Now everybody knows about curds, even if you don't recognize it, because Little Miss Muffet sat on her tub eating her curds and whey. So it's the freshly made cheese before they make it into blocks. So cheese curds, and when they're fresh and you chew them, they squeak on your teeth. That's what they're famous for. So French fries, cheese curds, and what goes on top? Gravy. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe they come up with that. So now, from now on, I encourage you, when anybody's talking about the Russian president, think about the Canadian poutine dish and just be grateful that we have that to think of instead of all the other stuff that's going on around. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night. I appreciate it.